A very good morning to you all. I am Dr. N. Rajastri, Assistant Professor of Economics, Pingal Government College for Women, Vadapalli, Varangal. In the today's topic, you're going to learn about the causes for rapid growth of population in India. So in our economy, the growth rate of population day by day is increasing. So now today you're going to learn the causes. What are the main causes for rapid growth of population? The first one is, you can see the introduction part. The high birth rate, relatively lower death rate is the first stage, we can say, the cause. And the immigration is also there. And the immigration does not have any impact on India. Then in India, the population has been increased rapidly due to the steady decline in the death rate, while the birth rate has remained high, and this led to the population explosion. So you can see that the population growth rate day by day is increasing because of some reasons. So mainly we can see the first one, the causes for decline in death rate. So the first one is elimination of famines. That is, reoccurrence of the famines in India under the British rule was a major cause of high mortality rate. Okay. Then since the independence, we can see the situation has considerably improved, as the famines have not occurred on a large scale and the problems had arisen due to droughts have been met. So this is the first cause, we can say, that the elimination of famines. Because of this now is a decline in death rate. Then control of epidemics. You know about the epidemics, that is cholera, smallpox, and malaria. These were the causes for epidemics before independence. It was there, and now the smallpox is eradicated completely, and the cholera also and the malaria are very much under control. So these we can take the causes for decline in death rate. Now here the present situation is about the COVID. Okay, because of that also the death rate, we can see that with medicine comes only, we can reduce the death rate. And other factors are also there, factors such as the supply of drinking water. You know about the drinking water, because it is clean and everything with boiled water we have to take. Then the sanitation also plays a very important role, and the hygiene, spread of education, they expanded the medical facilities, immunization system, and the poverty eradication programs, and also the improvement in living standards will have their impact on the mortality rate. So these are the things we can remember for reducing. These are the causes for decline in death rate. If they are not maintaining all this, automatically it affects. For all this purpose, what is important? Education is important. So if they have the awareness about the programs and about the hygiene and other sanitation or good drinking water, so all this for this awareness program, that is, an educated person only knows about the things, how he has to do and how he has to maintain, and also his standard of living also increases. So because of education only, a person can earn income, because they will be in a position to survive, because if they get the job only, he can survive for longer period. The life expectancy will increase. So we can remember the causes for death rate, the decline in death rate because of all this. Then next we can see what are the causes of high birth rate. Okay, the birth rate is high in India, except in the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Goa. Birth rate has not declined significantly in India due to a number of economic and social factors. So these are the factors you can remember: economic factors and also the social factors. These two factors plays an important role. So we'll discuss in detail. That is the predominance of agriculture What is this predominance of agriculture? Because Indian population mostly 70% depends only on agriculture sector. So here when the dependence is more on agriculture sector, what happens? Our economic development will not take place. Even the industrial sector and also the tertiary sector has to develop. So here you can see that the children have never been considered as a economic burden, because they can survive even if they get the any problems or anything, na, they can earn, and also the children, they can feed their parents. The peaks of the productive activity in agriculture requires more labor. So here in agriculture sector, more number of people are there. Okay. Hence, we can see that in a predominantly agricultural economy of India, bigger families exist. So this is one factor you can remember. And next we can see urbanization. So what is this urbanization? It is the process, that is a change, a shift has been taking place from rural sector to urban sector. The migration is taking place. Okay. So which reduce the birth rate. Then the next we can see the poverty. So you know about what are the two main cursing problems in our Indian economy? Poverty and unemployment. This poverty and unemployment are the two main cursing problem in our economy. So we have to reduce. The government has to take some steps to reduce these two situations, that is the poverty and also the unemployment. So with what the government can reduce it, but implementation of the schemes and other things. So here in underdeveloped or the developing economy, that is at lower income level of the family, the benefits of having an additional child to a family generally exceed the cost of his upbringing. Okay. So if they have the more number of children also nowadays, it's a problem, because he has to provide all the things. Then the poor have no other economic asset than their own labor. The poor farmers, they are surviving. That is, they don't have any additional thing. Okay, the poor have no other economic assets than their own labor. They have to put their efforts. They have to work hard. Okay, so here, hence, you can remember that the more the number of earners in the family, the more family earnings will be there. So if you are an educated, automatically your earnings also increases. And if you see, you can take the comparison, what the labor is doing and what an educated person is doing. He is fulfilled with all the things. He'll have the things whatever he wants. He wants fruits or some other things. The educated person can, if they have the job, they can buy all the products whatever he requires. And if you see the laborers, how much they are putting their efforts, how much they are working hard, they are working hard to survive on this earth. Okay, so just you can see the comparison, what the person with the high qualification, like say IAS or the collectors, you can see uh, they well settled. With what they are well settled, only with the education only they are in a position to stay in that position. Okay, what made them to be so high? So nothing but only the education. So you can remember that education plays a very important role, and also it is a source and the solution for all the problems. So when you are educated, automatically you can survive in the economy, and also you'll have an awareness what is good, what is bad. Okay, and what skills, also the talents and everything we can develop. So with what we can develop all those things? Only with the education. See the illiterates, just you can compare the illiterates, what, how they are seeing, how they are working hard, because they are doing the labor works. They are putting their efforts. You can see the GHMC workers, municipal workers, because Why they are in that position? Because they don't have the education. So that work only they are doing that. And you see the teachers or the doctors or the highly qualified person, just you can make the comparison. Okay. So main that is the economical, we can remember that poverty only. Poverty is what? The poorness. Why they are under poor? What is making them? That is nothing but the education. They don't have the source to live on this. If some sources are there, they can uplift, they can increase their standard of living. So for increasing the standard of living of a person, what is required here? Income plays a very important role. Okay, with income means you have to develop the knowledge, you have to develop the skills, and other things you have to develop. Okay, your efficiency also increases when you have the income. Automatically your some increments or some other things, if they provide the benefits for you, then automatically what happens? Your efficiency also increases. So when your efficiency increases, you can develop your skills and other things. So those facilities only we require. So try to remember that more number of earners, if they are there in the family, the more the family earnings. A Muslim people, what they'll think? If they have the more children, they'll think that they can, or if they become the old age, they think that they'll provide the food for us. In that manner, they'll have the more children. Okay, now they have been reduced the birth rate. So the lower survival rate also reinforces the preference for children. Thus, the poverty is a major factor which works against the acceptability of family planning program by the poorer section. The family planning awareness must be provided by the government so that we can reduce the birth rate. Okay. Then the next you can see social factors. What are the social factors which cause for rapid growth of population? That is universality of marriage. Lower age at the time of marriage, okay, religious and the social superstitious joint family system is there, and the lack of education and a very limited use of contraceptives are some of the social factors which limit the decline in the fertility. Okay, so remember, first one is under social factor is universality of marriage. Marriage is both a religious and a social necessity. Yes or no? It is a necessity for every person. With the spread of education and also the attitudes of the people towards the marriage will change, and many may decide not to marry. Before that, small children, they used to get married. Okay. Now, because of the education only, they are extending they are not, early marriages are reduced. Got it? But in a slow moving society where education is not spreading fast. So the situation we can see like in our economy. Then lower age at the time of marriage. That is also one factor. The relatively lower age at the time of marriage is responsible for high fertility also for children. Okay, the mean age at the marriage for females and the males, they have decided at what age? 18 years and 21 years. So due to this, fertility is bound to remain high. Social awareness, the spread of education can help to raise the mean age of at marriage. So the higher age of marriage tends to reduce the fertility, and this lowers the birth rate. And the next you can see religious and social superstitious. Due to religious and social superstitious also, many people prefer to have children irrespective of their economic position. Okay, this is also one point you have to remember. And the next is joint family system. So the joint family system induces young couples to have children, though they are unable to support them also because of their economic burden is borne by the earning members. So, however, this process of disintegration of joint family system has started now. Now people, they are not living in that system. Then next you can see the lack of education. So according to 2011 census, we can see 74% of the population is illiterate in India, and the percentage of literacy among the women is much lower, that is 65.46 as compared to 82.14% among men. So education alone can change, okay, the attitude of people towards the family and also marriage and the birth of a child also. Got my point? So only what is making? Only education is making to change their attitudes. They know, okay? They'll have an awareness towards the family, marriage, and the birth of the child. And illiterate people cannot expose to rational ideas. They cannot expose it. So there is an inverse relationship between education and also the fertility. So you can remember the factors why, what are the causes why the growth rate of population is increasing in our economy. And in this now demographic transition is there. One theory is there in this. Dr. Dusenberry, he explained about this demographic transition theory, where there are three stages: high birth rate and high death rate in first stage, and the high birth rate and decline in death rate, and third stage high birth rate and low birth rate and low death rate. So these were the stages, the dividing range 1921, and all the stages that now we are in third stage. Okay, and also here the government has, what is that? Yeah, providing family planning. Government is adopting an awareness program for the people to reduce the growth population, that is birth rates. So here you can remember, with the expansion of education only, people will certainly develop a preference for a smaller family only. They are not going for bigger family because they'll have an awareness. They are educated only, they will be in a position to control the growth rate of population. Okay, so these you can remember the factors, what are the factors, and how they are affecting. And I thank you very much.